First of all, welcome.
Thank you,
And
Sonny, for
welcome
inviting
everybody, whoever's watching.
Thank you.
Have a great honor and a pleasure of introducing two of my best friends, Martin and Olga. Before we go too far into the wine or that particular wine, tell me a little bit about like Guerrero Farnandez, two last names.
Well, it's really been a dream come true for both of us. First, it was Martin's dream, and then it became my dream, and then now it's our dream. We started making wine together back in the 90s. We launched our label in early 2000s. Our first release was in 2004. So we've been making wine for quite a bit.
So you have
right
almost
now.
like a 20th anniversary coming up.
Yes, yes.
So let's talk about this wine. So we are going to taste through a couple of wines from Guerrero Farnandez. Where are you guys located? Tell me first. I know where you're
Okay.
located.
Answer your first question. We are located in Windsor. We're here in Sonoma County. We have the winery, the production facility, and the tasting room in Windsor. It's where we are tasting here. This is one of our blends, and this blend is called Inspiración. Inspiración is the Spanish word for inspiration. Our blends are very intended, very intentional. Guerrero is Martin's last name. My last name is Fernandez.
Awesome.
We both were born and raised in Mexico.
Yeah.
We actually met in Mexico. We dated in
At
Mexico.
what age?
Oh, we're way too young.
Story that I heard was that Martin could date you only if he could keep up the running with you. Is that right?
It was the walking. It was the walking.
Oh, it was the walking,
actually.
not
it
even
was
running.
It was not even running. It was walking. Yeah.
You were before you started making wine, Martin. You were somewhere else.
And I started working for a big winery here in Sonoma County. It's Corbel. I joined them. It was 1986,
Okay.
and then a couple years later, I moved to the wine department,
Okay.
and I started making wine. Then 1987, 80.
So who was more stubborn, you or he was more stubborn on keep pushing for it, or was it?
We can
Who's
with
the
that
bull?
dream, with the
Who's
dream.
the stubborn one?
I think we both are. We both were. He was. I have to say that he was not stubborn, but he was determined. Why?
What's the difference?
Well, because you can be stubborn about wanting something, but not working for it. Just thinking. But he was.
That's very good way of putting it.
Yes.
And good to hear because I don't think I would have quite made the distinction.
So in the 90s, mid 90s, he asked there at Corbel if he could go and we could pick some of the grapes that were not picked in the first harvest, and then we went on a weekend with the kids and some friends, and we picked enough to make one barrel, and that was my first exposure,
wow.
direct exposure to
Mid-nineties.
winemaking, and to being out on the field picking the grapes and then going through the whole process of the winemaking.
We've been tasting the inspiration, so let's taste it again.
Give us your feedback.
What that means is pour some in my glass, please.
Yes.
Inspiration, you said, is predominantly Merlot. It has Cab Franc and
Malbec.
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 Okay.
Malbec.
What's that percentage?
5% Malbec.
So this wine was 3 years in New French Oak. So you were asking about, the name, and we left it where we didn't explain about the sign language. So all our labels have the American Sign Language, I love you.
Son is...
Our oldest son, he is hard of hearing, so he speaks American Sign Language. It's really what the label, the name is, who we are, where we come from, and what we stand for. And many of our wines, when we do blends, we like to call those names after things that are dear to our hearts, or names in members of the family.
Tasting this wine is soft tannins because we aged for 3 years, And also, what I like to feel on the wine is when you give that bite to that fruit that you love. You know, let's say for example, a plum, a black plum. You know, is ripe, it's to the right point, and you feel the juice in your mouth. You know, that's what I want to feel in a wine, and I enjoy a wine that I can drink a glass of wine with dinner and without dinner.
Okay.
But these wines are wines, you know, they're well balanced in acid and fruitness, you know. It's
Here's another bottle
yes.
that you
Yes,
have open
yeah.
over there.
yeah, we have Gratitude.
Okay.
Gratitude is a 2016 also wine, and this is a Bordeaux blend. When I say Bordeaux, it has the five grapes that mostly the Bordeaux have.
And again, this is a 2016 vintage. And again, it was
Also aged 3 years.
3
in a
years,
barrel.
3 years in the barrel. And the fruit comes from the same appellation, Alexander Valley, and the same vineyards as the ones from the Inspiración. Yeah.
This is my kind of wine.
Mhm.
I can write poetry drinking this.
This one goes for retail is 44. So this is a 2018 Zinfandel from Dry Creek. This was only
100%.
It's 100%. You know, only 24 months in New French oak.
Only 24 months.
Only 24.
That's not very common.
Not very common.
For us, because we aged for 3 years, 36 months.
For
So,
other winemakers,
Yes, this, oh yes.
1 year is good enough.
Yes, 18 months is the most that you find since it's 18 months. Yeah.
So
But-
let's talk. I'm tasting this wine. It says beautiful, and the one person I can think of is like my wife. She would absolutely love this wine. That's the kind of wine she loves. Fruit forward, kind of acidic, kind of lean, and well balanced.
Yes.
So let's talk about the natural wines. What is your description of a natural wine? What qualifies a wine to be a natural wine?
I don't know what qualifies a natural wine, but
For you guys,
for us, a natural wine is a wine that you don't use any additives, any enhancers, anything other than we use the juice, the yeast for the fermentation, sulfates to a very minimum,
Minimal too.
and then the oak for the red ones. You know?
And we only use French oak for
And
our
we
wines.
French oak. So
So to the quality and to the natural wines and to the love of you guys for one another, I want to say cheers.
Cheers.
And then
cheers and cheers to everybody that works in the industry,